I have 3 carbohydrate cravings tools that always work. Each time I try them, they work for me and they work for everyone else that's tried them. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sylvia and I'm a carnivore diet coach. Number 1, you will mix butter and honey, mix it together. You can add some salt if you like to, or you can use salted butter, and you keep that mixture in the container. You take it anywhere you go, and when the cravings strike, you just have a teaspoon of it, wait 10 minutes, and you can try again. And then usually by second, third times, cravings go away and you can get on with whatever you were doing before. To make this a honey butter mix, I will use about 4 ounces of butter, but feel free to double and triple the amount depending how strong and persistent your cravings are. Then I will add honey, and you need to add as much honey as you will feel satisfied with the sweetness of this mix. So it may be a 1 teaspoon, maybe 2, 3, 4. You need to know, you need to taste it as you are making it and decide what's right for you. It can stay in your fridge just as long as you would keep butter. You can transfer it into a container and literally carry it around even to your work, and when the cravings strike and you cannot focus on your work, you just go into that container with a teaspoon, have some of it, let it melt in your mouth, and then wait 10 minutes and then see what happens. Maybe you need to take another one. For me, it usually was 2 to 3 teaspoons every 10 minutes, and then I was free of cravings and I could get back to work and focus on whatever I was doing. I used this mixture a lot when I was out in Canada for Christmas. I was surrounded by all kind of home baking, especially the gingerbread man cookie was a temptation for me because this is my favorite one. But honey and butter came very handy. I was able to resist it and I stayed the course. Another thing I've noticed about this mixture of honey and butter is that it satisfies my dairy cravings. So because I'm breastfeeding my 11-month-old son, and I'm still planning to do it for a couple more months, I have this terrible cravings for something that is very fatty and that is very sweet. And I guess from the evolutionary point of view, it makes sense because it is the most calorie dense type of food with a lot of energy, and I basically need to eat extra 500 calories to produce the milk, so it makes sense. And I will not be eating ice cream, mainly because I just can't tolerate dairy. So butter and honey takes care of it. I'm really satisfied. It is very high on calories, so I'm very happy. I don't overeat and I eat those fatty and sweet foods, and it makes me very happy. This hack may not be appropriate for you if you are really sensitive to dairy and lactose, and though there is not a lot of lactose or other milk proteins left in butter, some people react even to butter. Other option is to use the clarified or ghee butter and then mix that with honey and then see if you respond well to that. And even if that makes you sick, then that is an option for you. Also, it is a very high calorie type of snack or craving hack, so if you are going on the carnivore diet to lose weight, this may not be an option. However, if you are looking to lose weight with a carnivore diet but have failed because of the carbohydrate cravings, then I would suggest dedicate about 3 weeks to deal with your carbohydrate cravings first, and you can use the honey butter mix to do away with your carbohydrate cravings, and then go on the strict carnivore diet, maybe even restrict calories, and then you will lose tons of weight. Honey and butter are a perfect carnivore food, and as I found it on the Paleomedicina website, if you are going to consume any sweeteners, honey is the best of them, and it has some protective properties even for the people that have issues with diabetes type 2 or unstable sugars. And I will link that article in the description box. Check it out for yourself. Now, I know for some of you the struggle with carbohydrate withdrawals may sound weird. I know some of you start carnivore diet on day one, get smoothly through transition period and never look back and live as carnivores happily ever after. But there is a group of us that associate food with comfort, pleasure, happiness, relief of stress and anxiety. And for some of us, eating food is the only reason for happiness or pleasure in life. So these individuals tend to have some of the strongest carbohydrate withdrawal symptoms. And it is really hard. I'm not exaggerating when I say it is really hard to get away from carbohydrates, because if you've done it for a really long time, meaning eating lots of comfort foods, you have a gut microbiome that is adapted to this type of food, that thrives on carbohydrates, that produces the neurotransmitter of serotonin, send it to your brain, keeping you happy and making sure that you're eating these carbohydrates. So when you deprive that gut microbiome of carbohydrate, all hell breaks loose. Not only there is a massive bacterial die-off, but also there's no serotonin to be produced by them anymore, and you do not feel well, happy, motivated at all. So this honey and butter mixture is perfect for those of you that experience doom and gloom the moment you stop eating carbohydrates. I don't know anybody for whom it didn't work. Try it. Now, if you are not into eating anything sweet but still want some relief from carbohydrate cravings, I would try glutamine. And this is an amino acid. And the doctors that actually acknowledge that leaky gut is a real thing, and there is some things we can do to seal our gut lining, they will recommend glutamine as one of the tools to do it. The scientist Dr. Krebs that defined the Krebs cycle, he was the one that also noticed that glutamine plays the role in sealing of a leaky gut. I tried the glutamine supplementation myself prior to going on the carnivore diet. That was my last protocol that I decided to do before going on the carnivore diet, because I thought that carnivore diet was absolutely crazy. So if I could avoid it going on the carnivore diet, I wanted to avoid it. So for a few weeks, I did the glutamine protocol for leaky gut, but it didn't do anything for me. What I did notice is that my mood and my cravings have improved. So I didn't want that much carbohydrates anymore, and my mood was more stable and I didn't feel groggy or cranky. Now I started using glutamine these days again because I am a little bit sleep deprived thanks to my 11-month-old son who does not sleep all that well. Plus I have a new job, and usually around 1 and 2 p.m. I'm ready to crash. And if you are sleep deprived, the carbohydrate cravings are a lot stronger. On top of everything, I breastfeed, so I'm hungry all the time. So there is a temptation of just going and eat anything. And I feel that. Plus we have a cafe on my job that offers free snacks. So that's what I am faced with. So I started supplementing with glutamine, and indeed it stabilized and kind of like muted my carbohydrate cravings. My appetite is more steady. It's still there and I'm still hungry, but I'm not like crazy hungry. And that grogginess that comes with sleep deprivation is not that strong, so that 1 to 2 p.m. I can handle a lot better and not be half asleep, and I can still focus on my work. I know some of you are thinking, well, why don't you just have a cup of coffee? It won't kill you. But the problem is, I do drink coffee from time to time, but it has to be very weak. I have to make it myself. I have to add egg yolk and collagen to it to shield my stomach, because if I just drink it black, then it really gives me digestive issues. So coffee is really not good for me. That said, I love coffee. It's just that the coffee doesn't love me back. So glutamine was a better choice for me. And I thought to myself, if it doesn't work for the leaky gut, it probably at the very minimum won't harm me. And so I started taking it in the morning in warm water. And indeed works. My grogginess is gone even if I don't sleep that well. and I don't have those crazy carbohydrate cravings. And number 3, you must try the Wim Hof breathing method. I don't know how it works and why it works, but it helps even if we are talking about food cravings. I know I talked about the Wim Hof method in my past videos for many different issues, but it works even for the carbohydrate withdrawals, cravings, withdrawals from all kind of different foods. Put the intention out there before you get out of your bed in the morning. Start breathing according to Wim Hof method. It will work for you. There is a guided technique. I will link it in the description box. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to be sitting in the meditative position. You can lay down in your bed. You don't have to hold the breath as long as it is in the video. Just follow about 80% of the times and you will notice changes, and it will be a lot easier to get through the day without giving in to your cravings. I kid you not, the days that I am able to fish out 15 minutes out of my morning to do the breathing technique are a lot better. I can notice the difference between my cravings, my hunger, my mood. Everything just goes better when I'm able to start my day with the breathing method by Wim Hof. So definitely give it a try, and it's not complicated. Alright, so these are my top 3 tools to deal with carbohydrate cravings. I tried them all. I like to mix and match. Sometimes I focus more on one and then the others, or I use 2 or all 3 at the same time. My circumstances of life change all the time, so I have to be flexible. Give it a try. Maybe you like all of them, maybe 1 or 2, or maybe you need to take turns with all of them. Either way you do it, I'm sure you will benefit from it. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Be sure to send it to anyone that is trying to go on the carnivore diet but struggles with the cravings, and I will see you in my next video. And for those of you that are asking about the type of glutamine that I'm using, I will link it in the description box as well, and you can buy it through my Amazon storefront. Till next time, bye.